And there we go. Let's see what happens. We got a good connection. I don't know about this, and we always blame Terry if something's going wrong here. It's not looking good. We are holding our breath. And there we go. Duke says we're 5 by 5. It's just not refreshing here. So, okay, we're good. All right, last.
11
it's hard
by
to even,
11.
Oh my God. It's my computer updated. I got so much junk on here. It was telling me to move it all out of the way. Computer completely updated, and it wiped out the camera and this microphone. And Terry has to help me every time go back through this. Terry's a computer genius. You've got problems, get up with Terry. So he hooked us up, and we're rock and rolling now. But that's my excuse anyhow. This is my rub the butt, pull the pork shirt my nephew sent me.
For your birthday, Garrett.
And me and Diane have been in deep. Diane got a couple in her last night.
Huh.
And this is what Chuck sent me. And this is a kick-ass book. It really is really good. But Diane knows that I'm going to keel over before her. And you got on a pretty good roll last night. So I say that when I die, we set the boat on fire and you jump in it with me. Diane's not going to, isn't that right? You're not going to stay on this planet, not 1 minute without me.
That's right. That's right. We'll go together.
She was trying, while I'm trying to watch Better Call Saul last night, she was really like, how are we going to do this? And so we'll take suggestions from the viewers.
I know it sounds awful, but I just, we've been married for 40 years. I hope we're not going to die before the next 10 or 20 years is up. And I just can't imagine having to say goodbye to the love of my life, him or me, and living the rest of my life alone and sad. I just don't see any reason for it. And I'd just like to go together.
Me, I'm going to dump the old bird off at the at the coroner's office and go to the VFW for happy hour. Hopefully, you won't die on like a Sunday or some really inconvenient day for me, if that's the way it works. But
carbon dioxide, just go to sleep. That sounds like it. I want something painless. That's what I want. That's a good idea. Can't we put the old hose in the exhaust and run it through the window and roll the windows up and hold hands and go to sleep? That sounds good to me. Robert,
she was on a roll about it last night. She wouldn't shut up. You know how hard it is to watch when she's on this serious thing. And Better Call Saul was a good one. These new things they got going on with the coronavirus. They pieced together things. It's really good. I don't want to cut my wrists. I don't want to shoot myself.
Robert, the non-smoking thing is going well.
I'm flattered.
I do. I've been doing really good. I feel like I was gaining some weight because I just was nibbling, but that sort of let up a little bit now, and I'm doing pretty good. My worst time is in the morning when I wake up and after about my third glass of wine. That's the roughest time. But I'm hanging in there and I'm doing good. And I don't want my new car smelling like smoke. So I'm trying my best and I'm proud of myself. It's very hard. I think Don figured up last night that we were saving about $700 a month or something like that. Now that's a lot of damn money, so I'll stick with it. Because we're going to move to Chile. He's found us a house in Chile.
No, I didn't. We're going to Argentina. And I wanted to talk to Clever Trevor about Ireland because when this shit gets completely out of control here, I'm going to Argentina and hunting red stag and doves.
You wouldn't believe, I've never thought about going to Argentina, but you wouldn't believe how much land you can get over there that you can afford. I mean, so my thing was I had heard something, a big advertisement on if you want to go somewhere and ride out the coronavirus thing, they have all these good deals going on in Barbados. So I was like, shit, let's move to Barbados. That'd be fine. Well, it might be a good place to winter over during the coronavirus, but you can't afford shit in Barbados. So I guess we're going to Argentina.
Yeah, I'm not going anyplace hot.
Hi, Bassett.
There he is.
Oh, that vape pen. You better quit that vape pen, Robert. That's about as bad as smoking, they say.
Oh, my God. Depends, I guess, what you got in it. So, Chuck sent me a really good book if you're interested in Viking shit, because if you laugh at somebody who says they've had a previous life, that's only because you have not had one yet. And I was a Viking prince in a previous life. And I raped, I pillaged, I burned, I looted. This is the shit I did. Really, well, I'm not really ashamed of it. But this is a really good book. And
well, I'll tell you, he picked it up and started reading it almost immediately and didn't put it down. So I think he's finished it already.
I'm real close here when the grandson was here, but I struggle to get through some books, but I'm always interested in North, because I've spent so much time in Northern Europe, and the sailor and all that stuff, the amazing guys. But this follows, amazingly, when you watch the series The Vikings, that's where they got all their information from.
Ragnar Lothbrok,
all the names of the kings, the Blood Eagle. They're following the whole thing of, putting Ragnar in the pit full of snakes and his sons and Ivar the Boneless, and so it's pretty good. And I know none of you out there. I'm the only guy here that knows how to correctly pronounce the name of that ship that's on fire in San Diego.
That's awful. I mean, that's where we met. We were stationed there.
Not on that ship.
Not on the ship, on the base. But everything was just black. Now, you talking about a fire, you get a huge fire on one of them suckers.
Yeah, Argentina's, they got some great hunting there. Manchu is still doing it, Don. What is Manchu doing now? Whatever. So Argentina, you had a lot of good hunting down there. And I don't think any of these these people that are burning all the monuments and just destroying shit just to destroy it, can get to Argentina. Because you're going to have to go through cartel country in Mexico and Colombia, and they'll kill all of you. They'll kill all of you as soon as you get. They smell that you're coming down there to start civil unrest, and they got a shallow grave for you fucking clowns.
I didn't know that's where we was going.
No, we're on the other side of it, but they can't get to us. That's like the Canadians. What was we listened to that thing today, that comic up in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Canada's doesn't worry about its borders because they got us to protect it. The big snuggly blanket.
Maston, are you in Panama now? Because we have a Chuck Holton with CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network. He's a friend of ours and came down to the course a couple of times. And he owns a home in Panama, and they have 2 monkeys. And they absolutely love it over there. And I'd go to Panama. I'd go. That's right up my alley. I love that Costa Rica, Panama. I love Nicaragua. That's not Don's cup of tea, but it's mine.
I gotta get some dove hunting, duck hunting.
Shit.
There's none of that much in Panama. And it's too flipping hot down there. I'm gonna get something done close to Antarctica. Donko, yes, you are correct. But I know you looked it up on the internet. I know you got under pronunciations or something and found out how to do that.
I couldn't say it.
I don't know. Bonhomme Richard. I don't even know if anybody on that ship knows how to pronounce it. I don't know why we have French-sounding ships in the U.S. Navy.
I don't either.
Richard.
So we have a freaking terrible fly problem. I've got...
She's a Bonnie Dick. There's the bosun. Bonnie Dick.
I've got the fly strips, the sticky things. hung all over in the kitchen, and I've got my 4 layers of defense. This is the one, you find them and you squirt them. This is the 2 that we keep right by our chair. Yesterday, I went to the feed store and I got me an electric fly swatter that swats the shit out of them. And here is my sticky tapes hanging from the ceiling. So if anybody has a good remedy, I bought the fly traps. And I had to put water in them. They stink like shit. And I took them far away from the house and hung them in the tree. So, hey, you let me try it out on you.
Let's show
Don't do that. Don't do it to that. It has to be a living, breathing, flying thing.
Oh, I'm a master with this thing. Is so much fun. So much fun. And you can clock them, because I know that most flies jump backwards. They get away from it, but when you corner them on the like the screen, they have nowhere to go but right into this thing. So yeah, I recommend this. I got something. I don't know why it was zapping all the plants today. Let me try it on this one. Look out.
No.
There it goes. Quiet. Shh.
So the other day, I hear Donna in here, pissed off, fussing at Coda, making him smell it, pushing his nose down. You smell that, Coda. You smell that, Coda. He said, that dog's pissing all over the house. Well, today I came in here. I've moved my new peace lily plant in here. It's huge. And I came and watered my plant today. Every bit of that water run right off the bottom. Somebody poked holes in it, and I didn't know it. So now it's so heavy we can't move it.
No, you're getting that damn thing the hell out of here. These plants around this house are driving me.
I love
plants.
plants. Fly dope from my pig barn. Yes, whatever the fly dope is, bring it, Trucker Dean. Trucker Dean's coming down next Sunday, I think. Him and his wife Maureen are coming. I look forward to having them, but I might still have my fly things hanging from the ceiling, so I'll make my apologies. I'd rather have them hanging than have flies in here, Dean.
UDT 39 is late for the show because I had one of those. I've still got them. Those are so much fun too. And you get really good at leading flies with it and just zapping that dog shit out of the gun we had with the salt.
Yeah, which somebody on the website sent us that. We had a ball doing
I got
that.
so good with that thing. I was
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bug salt, fly stoned, and oh my God, Simon, come on, dude. No, I'm just messing around. I don't know. I don't know any damn thing about it.
I met my daughter halfway yesterday. I took my little grandson back, and she sent me 2 videos yesterday. One of them was him crying, I mean hysterically crying for Yaya and Pap, and it broke my heart. And the other one was last night. She has a monitor in his bedroom and a monitor in my little granddaughter's bedroom. And he cried himself to sleep, crying for Yaya and Pap. So I just felt awful. And then I felt awful for her. You know, that must make her feel bad. And she said, no, I don't feel bad. She said he came back home to all the rules that we've always had in place. Not a lot of water before he goes to bed. He has to eat his supper before he gets a treat. He goes to bed at 8 o'clock. And so we've really screwed her over without meaning to. We don't get to see him that often. So when he comes down here, he just pretty much does whatever in the hell he wants to. And
Where's your phone?
It's in there.
You pull that up. I didn't know Herschel was recovering from anything. And my dad used to, the openings to the barn where the cattle would go in, he'd have these big, heavy mooring lines. And they were wrapped in barbed wire. And then he would put this really heavy fly shit on it. And the cattle would drag their backs as they went through. And they would look for it. And just
On barbed wire? That don't sound good.
get to scratch on it. They
Yeah.
scratched, you know, so they scratch on fence posts or anything like that. So we fill up so far.
So, Master, and I've been out of touch with you. Are you guys Are you stationed over there somehow, working over there? Are you? Did you buy a home, you and your wife? I don't know why you're in Panama. I must have missed all of that. I'd be interested in knowing.
Threw him out of this country for some reason. You were out of here. That's right.
Coda.
Coda buddy. Coda buddy. We think Xena is going to stay small. We're pretty sure Xena is not going to get any bigger.
We're hoping so anyway.
Yeah, I kind of like her like that. She is sleek, fast, and still learning. She's starting to follow we go out every morning, but she'll follow my hand when I point at deer.
Guys.
Sees them. Little fawns, foxes, just things like that. She's starting to do that, so that's a good way to go with her. And we're going to start cranking it up a little bit, but we have to do it in the mornings. We got to get up early, and the raccoons are a problem out here. I'm trapping raccoons as fast as I can do it. They have found the chufa, and they just dig it up out of the ground, the whole plant. They're really annoying the hell out of me.
Lazy bones, that's the truth, but I don't have enough money to live anywhere in the world, so we're going to have to pick and choose where we go. And Chuck, I am not getting thin and going away to nothing. I've actually gained weight. So I'm trying to get back on it starting tomorrow, Monday. I'm going to have to get up and... Boquete. Is that in Panama? Is Boquete in Panama? I was thinking Boquete was in...
Guys, they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah, Don used to kill those bugs. Let me get these damn dogs out of here. I'm sorry. Come on, guys. Let's go. What's out here? Does anybody else's...
She's the only smart one.
Does anybody else's house sound like this?
She's the only smart one that won't go in trash pans. My dad used to, we had all those beef cattle, and the beef cattle would have their young, their calves, and when their calves got to a certain size, right at wintertime, he would lock them up in the barn and feed them silage all summer, and we would take them to market in the spring. And we were full on, but one of the things he did was we had heel flies. And as I remember, the heel flies would get on the heels of the cattle and lay a little larva, and those larvae would go up through their hind quarters and get on their back and would create these lumps on their back. You could feel them, big lumps. And my dad would pull those cattle into the barn and take a gin bottle and a teapot, and he'd have that teapot steeped with hot water, and he'd dump it in that teapot, and he'd shake that shit around and dump that water out, and he'd stick it right on the back of one of those heel flies and hold that on, and that thing would pop up inside that bottle, big fat
Ooh.
maggot.
Is that what it is, a maggot?
And I was right there with my cup, put them in, pop them in, drop them in there, and I'd go fishing with a big white fat heel fly larva. And after that, they have a little breathing hole, but they would get on the backs of the cattle, and then when they were of size, they would drop out onto the ground and hope not to get stepped on by the cow, and then they would turn into a heel fly and repeat the cycle.
I know where I knew about Boquete, a couple of seals that Don knows. I can't think of their names right now, but they both moved down to Boquete, and that's where they live, and they run some kind of a business down there. And I was asking him and his wife about it, and they said the same thing, a little expat retiree town. That sounds very good to me.
Well, I've talked her into staying here for 10 years. We got 5 in already. Most of the dogs will be dead by that point, and we can go somewhere. And she's agreed to that. So we're here for 10 years. We went to Costa Rica.
Yep. They steal stuff over there.
Well, I like it because you could kill a dozen people over there just go on a spree, a shooting spree over there, and not get in nearly as much trouble as you would for cutting a tree down over there.
Or for not wearing a seatbelt. You
That's
can
right.
smoke pot walking up the street. You
Drinking.
can drive with a beer between your legs, but if you don't have a seatbelt on, you are in shit creek.
Or cut a tree down.
Yeah.
Bad stuff over there. But no, I'm not going over there. It was a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. We tried it for a month. That whole expat thing. I got to get away from Telemundo, I guess, and get some real potato chips. I can't take that shit.
Telemundo.
Telemundo. I don't know.
Thank you, Peyton. I've had these earrings for a long time. Bought them at some little hippie shop.
Did that on the milk cows. There you go. See, I don't lie about that shit. And a lot of retired military. And thanks for the birthday stuff. I don't pay much attention to it. I didn't get a card. I didn't get something. Shit. Should I go up there? Why didn't you go up there and get that thing? I don't know why we didn't have that in here.
What?
My turkey thing.
Oh, you go. No. We'll do it the next time. We'll do it Wednesday.
I'll go get it. You can carry a tune here.
I have your birthday card. It's right over there. I saw it today. An envelope. Okay. You want to run up and get it?
Why not?
Okay, go ahead. My daughter and son-in-law made Don
This won't be easy.
the most amazing
Grandfather's
Day. Father's Day gift. When Don took my little grandson Remington hunting and he got that turkey, my son-in-law preserved the feet and of course the fan and the beard and kept the shell of the bullet that killed the turkey. And he just had an amazing shadow box made. It is so cool. And he's made on the side of it, a seal made it. I guess he's going to start a business doing this. But on one side says Remingtons, and on the other side says Paps. And you can touch a little gold bar, and these LED lights go on. So on Remington's side, it changes colors from red to gold to green to blue. And on Don's side, it is white. So it can be automatic when you walk up in front of it. Let's just say the beard lights up, and then the bullet lights up, and then the feathers light up, and then the last thing that lights up is the picture of Remington and Don. Don's down on his knees with that turkey, holding it up. It is very, very cool. So now we're just trying to figure out where to put it. But it's really an amazing gift. It meant so much to Don, and things like that, that you can look back on, excuse me, you can look back on and just remember exactly every little detail about that day and the hunt and how excited, he was. It's great. So I had him take it upstairs and put it in a safe place because they're going to hang it up for us when they come back. So Don just went upstairs to get it. I'll move out of the way. It's pretty cool. I know that there's a little bit of a glare. We'll do the best we can with seeing it. There you go. Can you rest it right there? Turn it off.
Yeah, I think so. It's disconnected. I can see that very.
I don't know. The top of it says Harrison and Shipley. It's pretty cool.
I think we're getting a flashback with the.
But there you go. But here's a bullet, and that's the beard. Whoop, going the wrong way, the beard. There's the legs. I love that. That's so funny, the way that they are. And it's got the date on it, on the kill. It's just such a neat thing. So, oh no, you take that and put that on my bed right now. God, we'd die if that thing would break. They worked so hard and so much planning went into getting that, but very cool. Oh, Panama City. I didn't know you'd been there, Terry. Yeah, that is very nice. We love it. So We normally put stuff like that up in the barn so that the wounded guys, it sort of fits, with the hunting and stuff. But I think we're going to have to leave that up in our house so we can really enjoy it and see it every day.
It was a 100-year-old oak.
Yes.
100-year-old oak, and then one of the borders was Afghanistan, wood from Afghanistan.
He brought wood back from Afghanistan. One of them, he cut down a tree with his grandfather. My son-in-law turns wood. He makes these bowls that are absolutely unbelievable. It's called turning wood. I don't know a thing about it. I just know that I have a beautiful bowl in there that he made. And so he's all into different woods, and if I can ever get him some black walnut, I'm going to have him make me something spectacular with it, because that's a huge oak tree that fell, right? I bet he'd like to have some of that wood. It's beautiful. Isn't that the one that fell over there next to the thing?
You can take all of it.
It's huge.
That damn thing out of there. Every time somebody comes down here that does that stuff, I ask them, hey, you want that tree? You cut wood? Oh, my God, you give me that tree? Oh, my God, we'll get some trucks over here and cut. I never see them again. Never
That's
see them
true.
again. It's a big old oak tree over there. It's split in half. So, whatever.
I'm with you, Master, and that's what Don and I are thinking, too. No crowds. I don't want no crowds. I am really spoiled living here with no neighbors that I can see. The only neighbor that I can see is across the water, and I never see them. They're in the house all the time, but I don't want any crowds. I don't enjoy going to shopping malls and shopping. I just don't enjoy any of that. I sort of would like to be able to walk into a market. I like fresh stuff every day. I like doing that kind of stuff. I know you don't give a shit, Don. Let's get back to Chufa. That's way more interesting.
I zap you with that bug zapper. No, that's fine, Diane. I'm not going anywhere tropical. I'm done with the heat. I need to go someplace cold. Not that cold.
No, not that cold. Not Alaska cold.
Fall, winter weather. It's right there at that December bed. All year round. Yeah.
I have to have a pool.
No. God help us. If I ever talk this on here, we went to Norway and did a big monster exercise in Tromsø, I think it was called. Way the hell up there. And they stuck us in a basketball court. That's where we were living. An abandoned school basketball court. Complete with basketballs, of course. All the drunks would come in and start playing basketball 2 in the morning. And me and my assistant platoon commander, I found a tackle shop. I was like, we got to do something around this town. And I found a tackle shop. I went down and talked to the guy, and he said, oh, yeah, you can catch fish here. And bitter, brutal, miserable cold. Me and him every morning with a couple of 12 packs of beer and bundled with everything we had would take these fishing poles and go down to those piers. And that guy was a hunk of metal. That's all it was. It was a jig. It was a big black hunk of metal with a treble hook on it. There was no color to it, just silver. And he said, just drop that on the bottom and jerk that thing up. And we caught some of the biggest cod. Monster cod. We'd pull them things up like a refrigerator. They were so cold. Throw them on a dock, they'd freeze, and then we palletized them all and flew them back to Germany. That's all we did the whole time we were there.
When they stayed froze?
Yeah. Then
Wow.
a lot of the guys, like Smiley, everybody was married to Filipino girls over there. We gave them on. You give a Filipino girl frozen cod, you are in there, man.
Yes, you should bring wine. Sorry. Oh, Dean's got wine. Bring the wine, Dean. Be right back.
Southeast Alaska.
No,
Yep.
Alaska.
Peyton should make another cooking video. And my best to her. She doesn't need to send me a card. I'm okay. I don't. Yeah, birthdays. I just get on her because she really expects stuff, and I should be more conscious of Christmases, anniversaries, stuff like that. But I just spend so many of them gone. It's weird how my brain operates sometimes. Selfish stuff, I guess. But they don't mean anything to me. They're just another day. So. All right, what do we? You have a pool when you come. Bassett. What the hell else did we?
Are you building a pool, Bassett? Better have some money. Better hold off on that for a while.
Black market and those Bush's baked beans from all hell breaks loose again. I'd be stockpiling all that shit down there because here we go again.
Yeah.
Too late. If you look at the states up there, I think we're the only one really that's the piece that's not been affected because the governor here has been really strict about all of it, and good for him. So I got to go get a haircut. I'm going to try to get up there tomorrow.
And I'm going to.
And I don't want that guy breathing all over me. I don't know what I'm going to take him up a trash bag and tape it around his neck or something. Just hurry up and cut it. He
wears a mask, and you can wear a mask too in there. When I went, but I'm
going
going back to the store. We have sort of eaten all of our supplies that we had. We tapped into it because we had family down and stuff like that. So I'm going back and I'm going to load up. I'm good on meat. Every freezer we've got's filled up, but I'm going to go back and restock my little pantry shelf because we are absolutely getting ready to be on lockdown here again. I know that we are. So we did. Don and I are pretty smart. We've been through a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've been through more than he has when he was gone. So we're pretty smart with doing that. But we didn't think about shit like getting a haircut and getting my hair colored and stuff like that. So I will not put that off. I'll make sure that we have haircuts and stuff before we quarantine. And I guess we'll just start having to cut each other's hair. But we're getting ready to be on lockdown. I can feel it coming. And I went to the grocery store yesterday. And I don't know what this has to do with the coronavirus, but there was plenty of meat in the grocery store. But I needed mayonnaise, and we use Duke's mayonnaise. Everybody in the South uses Duke's. And when I went to the mayonnaise section, there wasn't hardly any mayonnaise. And then when I went to the bread section, there wasn't hardly any bread. It's funny what they run out of. Beans, like pork and beans and stuff. And that's how it happened the last time. Just little sections in the grocery store started getting dwindled. I don't know. Am I boring you, Don?
I don't know what you get on sometimes, but it's okay. It's okay.
You damn right it's okay.
As long as we're going together, I'm fine.
Well, I don't think I will go now. I think I'll just let you go, and I'll stay here and have a hoot-ah-yay.
What was that other thing?
I'll just be
the other night?
Partying it up.
She gets on these yacky rolls, especially when it's a good movie, like 12 O'Clock High. She'll just take that channel changer and point it at her and just start pulling. There you go. So, no, we're, I hope everybody would be taking this one serious. We screwed this whole thing up. And Trucker Dean, you're headed down to the Devil's Pit down there with Suezo.
Oh, man, I'm sure he's been sending them to you, too. But I'll tell you right now, that swimming pool he's got looks like a damn resort. Flowing fountains and stuff. He is so
excited to get anybody down there, and this coronavirus has screwed up all his plans.
Yes.
But you're going down there. He is so upset with me for not going. But I can't go. I can't leave these dogs in this place like this just to go down there. And I caught him drinking Ultra. I'm sure he's been sending you those texts all day long, too, where he's chugging Mick Ultra. Really? That's like the Richard Dreyfuss on Jaws, when Quint swallows that beer and Richard takes that coffee cup and drinks it and squeezes it. He's drinking those Mick Ultras, and I made fun of him today for sending me those things, and he didn't like that. So there you go. Sick of Alaska. No, it rains it just rains up there. We're going to Argentina. And hunt red stag. We're buying some property down there, hunting ducks, dove, shit like that. There they are out there. We don't know what we're doing. We just want to get away from the stupidity that's going on in this country right now. So that's our bailout plan. That's our E&E plan.
Well, and the United States, of course, it's my United States. I get goosebumps on my arms when I hear the anthem and stand up and put my hand over my heart and all that good stuff. I love it, but I've never really been anywhere. I always had to be here working, taking care of kids, taking care of something, running a business, and I just think in our old age it might be fun to just get away and not have a thing to worry about. Might end up coming back when we're 80 or some shit, but it'd be nice to just get away for a little bit. I'd like that. Donko, he votes for Argentina.
That's right. Yes, Trucker Dean, I know you're getting it. Pesos for the dollar, good deal. Yeah, and they got all the honey down there. So we're just thinking outside the box because we're not going to stay here. This place is a lot of work. So 10 years, we're good to go once the dogs start killing over.
Okay.
I know, they're driving me crazy today.
Sorry, guys. All right, come on.
So not much. Healthcare. We can get a witch doctor down there. Nothing's wrong with any of us, except I don't want that coronavirus.
Oh, I'm not going to Amsterdam. Whew.
There's nothing to hunt there.
Hey, you wouldn't want to hunt if you went to Amsterdam. You'd be too stoned. You'd just lay back all day and eat. Eat potato chips and shit. Ooh.
I'm burnt out. I've been procrastinating for weeks, this whole virus thing and everything. I've been working. My computer is so clogged with all this files of these phonies, and every so often I'll put them all together and throw a video up on YouTube, and I got to get that thing done. So I've worked hard on it today, but my peepers are doing fine. I don't know when the last video is that I did, but they found the water. And they've been out in the bay, and I steadily moved them up, and I got them off this. We looked out there today, and they were in a group in the big-ass water out there just having a great time. I mean, they were way out there. So that all went good. I don't have to put them in the pond and look at turtles and otters killing them. And nothing gets them out there, so we're fine.
He could be the mayor of Rosie Road. We actually went to Rosie Roads and we went to Don's Lighthouse, that bar right there on the base, and the blue building was still there. The windows were broke out of it, and it had some spray paint graffiti, but I've always had a good time in Puerto Rico. I wouldn't want to live there. But it's English speaking and the same money and easy for me, to figure all that stuff out. I've always had a good time, but I don't want to live in Puerto Rico. But this is the one that he ran over, and she's doing just fine.
Nope. Just got a break in the action there.
Yep.
She's fine. Don't ask me how. It's amazing. I run right over. There were two adult males in that golf cart. And run right over, and she's fine. I was real worried because she was walking. It took her a little bit. I mean, she was a little visibly hurt. But when she recovered, and quickly I thought, oh my, we got internal injuries, ruptured her spleen or liver, something like that. There's nothing. She's getting back on it. So we worried about Michonne with her hips and her knees, and oh my God, she's just going downhill. She's going downhill until I talked to a friend of ours, and he said he had Rocky Mountain spotted fever when he was 11, and his parents had to carry him for 2 years. He couldn't walk for 2 years, and she had Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and we didn't know about it until she couldn't get up off the kitchen floor. So we think that's what Michonne's leg problems are. She doesn't have hip problems. She doesn't have knee problems. It's just still coming in from the Rocky Mountain spotted fever. But how she survived that, I'll never know. But they just dart and twist and turn in front of us, and we're really careful. But happened real quick. So.
Evil one, I know exactly what you're saying. I don't know that the lockdown is going to help any. I think that once they lifted that thing, people went crazy as hell, and all these big get-togethers and protests and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. All I know is, and people do have to work, and it's, I went to my beauty shop the other day to get my hair cut, and the girls in there were so many things that was regulated that I hadn't thought of. They also do like spray tanning in there. They couldn't only not do it, they had to remove a bunch of stuff off of the premises. They do massage in there. All of that stuff had to be moved. They had to hire somebody to come and move that stuff. They don't have any paid holidays, of course. They don't have any insurance. They're self-employed. And those girls were really, really hurting in there. And so I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that I don't have any control over what the rules are going to happen around here. And I'm just going to be prepared that if they lock us down, me and him will be okay. We'll have enough dog food or something. I mean, I don't know. It's
Who's doing that?
her.
Where's she at?
She's out here now.
Oh, let her in. I can't take that. Seen out there.
Come on,
Oh
girl.
my God, she's so.
Oh, God, she's been in the swimming pool. She's
She
soaking wet.
She runs out. Hi, Zane. Girl. Sweet girl. Get up here. Get up here.
Hey, girl.
She has to be touching me somewhere. With her pretty face. She's just soaking wet. And she goes in her pool and just cools off. And she just has a great time. But she has to be touching me. Her head has to be somewhere on my body. And we just have a good time together. So we're getting ready to ramp it up. We're looking at a good season. Some of my sunflowers. I have the shittiest sunflowers in the state of Maryland.
But one bloomed, and he went and took a picture of it. He was so proud.
I'm going to have a dove season this year. If I get a few of them, I'm having a season, and I'm getting them. I don't know what the deer have done. There's a grass that's growing in the fields, and we haven't been able to get in there and disc it up. But the deer are just feasting on that. And I don't even want to disc it up because they've left the sunflowers alone because of that grass, or they'd have destroyed more than they did. But it only takes a couple of sunflowers to have a dove hunt.
Well, one hunt. One hunt.
You can lure them in with a few sunflowers. So we're doing all that, and we got some major work to do here. I'll tell you guys all about it. And I saw a urinal tech up here with the CBs, and I wanted to ask this on here. I'm interested in talking to you. Anybody that knows anything about NAV CHAP Group, Naval Cargo Handling Group in Cheatham Annex. And I know they're around CBs a bit. And NAV CHAP Group unloads cargo. They're stevedores. So whenever ships go to Kuwait, Navy ships go to Somalia, things like that, these guys are there to unload the cargo. That's what they do. And I don't know that any was there, and you guys that were in Somalia, especially the CB and fleet type guys that were in Somalia, I need to talk to you because I'm going after it. I've weighed this out really hard.
Yeah.
Real hard. And then I said, fuck it, what am I even here for if I'm not gonna get this clown? And he's getting real big. Real big. And he's just a total fucking fraud. He is a complete fucking fraud. And CBS Evening News, Good Morning America, testifying before Congress, This guy is
You better be careful.
got to be big stuff. And yeah, you're gonna have this one right, but lie.
Gun dog, I don't exactly know what.
Seabees, I'm sorry, Seabees, and any of you guys that served in Somalia during Enduring Freedom, Restore Hope, all that stuff.
We woke up one day last year, a couple of years ago, and Michonne was laying on a rug inside, right in front of the kitchen sink, and she had never laid there before. She always slept with us in our room, and she was paralyzed. She couldn't walk. I mean, she literally was paralyzed. She could not get up and take a step, and we panicked. So we went to the emergency vet, which, woo, man. But anyway, they couldn't figure it out, and we went to our regular vet the next day, and they ran tests, and she had Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and it took her. They just gave her a shit ton of antibiotics and something else that she was on, and had to take like a whole bottle of it till it was gone. But it's way worse than Lyme's disease. And we also had a good friend of ours that you guys have met on here, Doug Norway, and his wife Becky, that come down for Christmas. She kept talking to me, and she said, I don't know if Doug is depressed. You know, he's not taking a shower. He's wearing his robe all day. He just sort of lays around. He's not eating good. I mean, she was really worried. And finally, after going to specialists, somebody figured out that he had Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And whatever they do to it to get rid of it, they'll get rid of the Rocky Mountain spotted fever, but you always have some of the symptoms. At least that's what they were told. He still has some symptoms, and I think that Michonne still has some symptoms from it. So that's, in that regard, that's why I think it's worse than Lyme's disease.
Well, there are 5 tests. Once Doug contracted that stuff and Michonne contracted it, I know there's 5 tests, and I get them every year because I'm always full of ticks. I don't know how many have pulled off me lately, but you go to the doctor, you tell them I want the Lyme disease test, but I want all 5 of them, and they test for all that. Because and Devin, you know, he's a young guy, got Lyme disease here, and he can't stay awake. And when it gets to the point where you wonder what is wrong with you, and you go to the doctor, it's oftentimes too late. You get the symptoms, you do something about it before you get those bad symptoms, and that's being tested. And that poor young boy, he's been on here before. He helps me hunt here, take guys out. He's in bad shape from Lyme disease.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to get up and leave again. She's come in here to get me because all the dogs are in except Warrior, and Warrior is outside at the back porch, and she knows it, and she wants me to get up and go let her buddy in, so that's what I'm going to do. Come on, girl, let's go get him. Let's go get your boy. Come on.
Okay, let's see. So there's Duke, yep, and we hooked him up, and you have my number, brother. I don't know where I'm going to get that. You resend that to me or send a quick text. I have no idea what that's under, but I don't think it's under urinal tech. Yeah, and I was just talking to my buddy. I've had Brandon Mineth on here. I met Brandon up. I was at Team 2 with him. Brandon did 2 deployments to Somalia, and he's what I'm relying on right now. He did it for Enduring Freedom and Restore Hope. But the stories that are coming out of it is just, I got his records. But that Somalia thing actually went into several different phases. It had the initial one of just trying to feed the people, restore hope, and then Enduring Freedom went on, and then it started in December '92 and then went into October '93 when all hell broke loose with the Black Hawk Down incident. But it was not like that the whole way through. And This little cargo handler is turned himself into an Audie Murphy, and nobody is questioned it. I don't know how they haven't. I don't know how I haven't caught on to this until somebody turned me on it. But turned himself into an absolute PTSD-ridden Audie Murphy from the horrors of Somalia. Evil.
Knock it off.
Dude. Okay.
Yes, Amazon is your friend, but I'll tell you right now. God.
She hamstrings him. And that's what just happened. He was trying to get up in his chair. He's snarling at her now. She gets him right by the hamstrings. And he loses all function in that big leg of his.
Hey!
Stop that.
Knock it off.
Stop that, you.
God.
It's tough because, we're really active early in the morning, late in the evening. I mean, they're getting ready to get out. And we'll go sit outside and screw around with them, feed the ducks, and I set my coon traps. And stop that. But they've been inside sleeping all day, and they're happy to do it. It gets too hot out there. Zena's different. Zena's got some energy and pep, being a very young girl. Warrior, that heat just gets him. I mean, he just steps outside and goes, oh God. So Zena, if she'll stay that size, she is just so cute, so perfect, so compact right now. I got a wetsuit that doesn't fit Warrior anymore for retrieving. I got a blind that he can't fit into, a little portable blind. She can, and it just stay that size. I don't mind. She's small. Stay that size.
I don't think she will. I think she's going to get big as shit, but I wish she would stay that size because she just fits perfect with me to sleep. And when my grandson was down here, 100 degrees outside, my two little ones are older. They're in here in the air conditioner. They want on the hardwood floor that's cold. Warrior definitely is, but she will hang. She will chase every ball, every bubble.
His head is scarred. I pet him on the head the other day. I was like, what is that? And it's just scabs on one side of his head. And now the hair has come out. It's from her biting him on the head. She just gets this side of his head. She has a preference, I guess. And that's what she's doing over there now. And he just loves it. That's what dogs do. If I bit Diane in the mouth, it would hurt, but that's not the way dogs are. They're not as sensitive as we are here in the muzzle and stuff. I mean, they eat out of that. They do everything. And so she's just waylaying him.
So Dave Norman, I told you guys that he sent me the air fryer, that I'd never had one before. And I've cooked everything in that thing. I cooked pork chops in there. I cooked chicken in there. Little tater tot things. I made some little, okay, guys. Oh, God. We apologize. We live in a damn zoo.
I'm just going to lift the camera up and shine.
We live in a zoo. Oh, Lord.
That's what they do. They just flip and bite and snap. And Coda wants in there really bad. And Zena's turned quite aggressive. If one of the other dogs has something, she will light them up for some ice cream, for a little chew.
Now, they say Zena will be about 70, 75 pounds and knee-high like her mom and sister.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's right on there.
Knee-high's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, never a dull moment. That's right. And gosh, she's just ruthless with him, and he just loves it. He loves it, loves it. Bite my face as hard as you want to. I'm fine with it, and she does.
Yes, Donko, I've got on her cut-off blue jean shorts. He wants to know if I have pants on. I guess it looked like I don't.
Oh yeah, she's got her. Well, I don't know, do you?
Yes, I've got on my shorts. Yes, I do. Thanks for noticing, Donko.
I guess I flashed that down there
I
pretty good.
guess so.
No, everybody's fine here. So there they go. We're in the other room now. Pretty good, guys.
So anyway, Buddy sent me that air fryer, and I absolutely love that thing. If you all don't have one, you need to get one. I think that's going to be great. I'm starting back on my keto thing, hot and heavy tomorrow, and that is great. And I guess some of the original air fryers, you had to at least put a teaspoon or tablespoon or something of oil. But this is the latest and greatest, and you ain't got to put shit in there. No oil whatsoever, and it just comes out crisp and good. That was definitely a great gift, wasn't it? Good.
I can't believe it.
Text me, Don. I am the old turd chaser, your old CB buddy from the Gulf Coast.
I get that. But, I don't know if you sent me a text. I don't know what we're doing here. I know. Okay, I think that's it right there. Let me see. We're going to get this.
Woody, what do you think he's sipping? Ice water with lemon, of course. This thing is moved up. The camera's messed up.
What? Oh, stop moving around there, would you?
Shit, I didn't do it.
It's your
Still
ass.
messed
Look, I'm
up.
trying to get the text here and see if that's turd chaser. Urinal tech or whatever. Oh, now that's just to see whenever I touch them, it's just not good. I think this is it. The turd chaser. Yeah, I love that gun of your father's too. Whenever I want to shoot something, I shoot a challenging gun a lot. I like a lot of 20 gauges, and to bring them in. And I like a pump 12 gauge. I don't need an automatic. What I really always have wanted is the black powder 12 gauge
I'm sorry.
with the flintlock shit. What are we doing?
Hurting electric chick, and camera is looking at ceiling.
That's what you get when you.
Yeah, can't spell ceiling.
He's just having an off night there. Okay. I'll give you a call Sunday about okay, you do that. Are you coming here? Or are you going to him before?
He's going to Suezo first, and then they're coming here on their way home.
Oh my God! I tell you, man, he is Coda. Oh God!
He's got him by the tail. She's got Coda by the tail, dragging him all the way.
Look out! Stop that! Stop! I would have moved the camera. That was worth a shot. You got to quit talking like that. Oh God! Xena gets Coda and Michonne by the tail
and pulls them across the. It's not funny.
Drags them around the house. So the next time he does it, don't scream like that. I'll get it. But the geese.
Okay, Dean, that sounds good. Give me a call and let me know what time you guys are coming up.
He is worked up. He is worked up, man. I would never go down there with not at least a half a dozen other people, because you're going to get the full brunt of it. I don't know of anyone else that's going down. You're going to get the full brunt of him, and all that testosterone. What's that? What's that stuff? What's that big ball player, the black guy that fakes the press conferences? They talk about Nugenics. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And his workouts are all improved and his sexual thing. He shovels that shit down his neck. And his whole head is swelling. His face is red. And he is just so aggressive.
And he's watching you right now.
Blah. And you're going to catch the brunt of that shit down
No, he's got a ton of friends. I guarantee that place is going to be packed with all his buddies down there in North Carolina.
He's so mad that I'm not coming down. But
we would go, but I mean, it is the coronavirus, and we're in the middle of farming, and we've got 4 dogs and 2 cats and all that shit.
I'd go.
Well, go right ahead. You can go down there.
I can't do it. Okay. Told him what I said. You are not doing it. I don't even want to hear that. He's never going to let you go. He texts me daily about being a puss. The Mick Ultra beer chugger guy, about being a puss about this coronavirus. Me, my age, blood clots, I won't get out of the hospital. I won't. I know that. And he just seems that.
Well, Brandy's coming
none of
down.
This is happening.
Brandy's coming down
affect
right
them.
after Dean comes down, and Dawn actually called her yesterday and was like, have you guys been social distancing? We wanted to know. I'm going to call her tomorrow, and Dawn asked them to please wrap it up
now.
even tight right now. You got
Don't you
2
bring
weeks
it up?
before you're coming up here, and they're going to have to make their own meals down there, only because as good as I'm sure Brandy and them are doing, the 2 girls are involved in all kinds of things, having to go to daycare and stuff like that, and they'll be making their own meals. They won't be taking meals in here at my table, and we will be outside or by the pool or something separated because we are too old to take a chance. Me to Star.
I wasn't getting any chicken fights in that pool party with him. He will crush the life out of you. That guy is so big. He is so strong and powerful. He doesn't know it, and he is really aggressive. And Dane, I wouldn't wear anything sexy down there. I mean, he'd turn on you on a dime, man. That dude has got some testosterone going through him, so I'd be careful of wearing a Speedo down there and let your banana.
Ren, how is her training going? It is freaking going fantastic. She's so smart, and she does good when her and Warrior are out there, and Dawn's training on and off and on and off, but she really does well when it's just one-on-one, and in the pool she is spectacular. I mean, all Dawn has to do is clap his hands, and that dog is head first in that pool. She loves being in there, but she is doing so good. She's so smart, and one of my probably favorite dogs that we've ever had, except she's rough on me. She's a puppy, and she's full-blown in that swimming pool. I really can't handle her in the pool. Dawn has to, but she just gets so excited. She just claws you to death.
You got to see her coming. It drives her crazy when I go under or something like that, and she can't. But the training's been hard because it's hot. You have to pick your times for it, and she's still really young. You don't want to get to where you're getting real frustrated with her doing it. She doesn't stay very well, and God help if I launched that dummy with that gun. I took a long range shot of the fox today. I thought her skin was going to come off. She saw it and went. So there's no gun shyness in her. She's super eager and aggressive, but I got to calm her down because Warrior's not the problem. She's the problem. And I need those dogs to honor each other. Because anytime Warrior has something in his mouth, she tries to take it and will hang on to him for dear life. So I can only imagine a goose or a duck in Warrior's mouth and her on the other end of it. It's going really good. She's a pleasure to be around. She's in good shape. So we got to get her back to the vet. Her boosters in the second round are coming up, and we got to get her spayed.
Yep, but she's absolutely wonderful, and she is great in the pool. Excuse me. She knows where the steps are, so when she gets hot, she just goes out, walks down the steps, swims a couple of laps around, comes right on back, and then comes in the house and shakes water everywhere. So she's great. Guys, I'm going to go in there and, oh gosh, she's got my cushions off of the bed, guys. Thank you all for everything.
What'd you say today? I go, what's she got in her mouth? And she screams, she goes, she's got my Jesus shoes.
They are my Jesus sandals.
My Jesus sandals.
That's what they were called back in the day, Jesus sandals. I love them. They're my favorite sandals. Bye, guys. Thank y'all.
Yeah. We'll get out of here.
Give me that pillow.
Don't let your guard down for this coronavirus. Thank you, Terry. And Donko and anyone else, and these it's just complete insanity out there and lack of respect for anyone else. We have done. I know it's really tough on people, terribly tough. Employment, money-wise, I think there should have been so much more get done by Washington for this thing that they should have nipped this, and now we are the epicenter of all this. And while younger people don't really have too much to give a shit about, they're killing off others in the people with, just these ailments, diabetics and things like that. And but I don't want it. I don't think I'll get over it. So, yeah, you got to be careful out there. And we sure will. So, brace for shock. I think it's coming to that, and that was the other thing I talked to Brandy about. Hang on, here we go again, and this time it's going to be really bad. I don't think we're going to get past this until we get a vaccine, and there's a lot of people that can't handle vaccines, so it's bad everywhere. I could terribly stand a trip to the dentist. I've had 2 elective procedures that I can't get done, and it's just terribly inconvenient because everybody's going to have a fucking pool party instead of just hanging out and letting this thing pass. So go on, it's all a hoax. Okay. The second phase is coming, and it is. It's going to be much worse than the first one, but I'm going to do my best to stay up here. So, Urinal Tech, I'm going to get with you. Anyone else that served in Somalia, I'd be glad to hear from you, because I'm going to wrap this one up, and it's going to be, this is one of those, there's only one way to describe it. You cannot take a half measure with this one. Cannot take a half measure. You got to go Viking style. You got to go Viking style with this one. Because the amount of people that are going to have egg on their face for this one that might come out and turn really defensive. A lot of people don't like that when they have done so much and wooed and sucked and licked and kissed. They don't like that when they find out, and they don't really care what you have to say. Now you're making us all look bad. So, but I thought long and hard about it, and I said, nah. F you. F you. So, it's chips fall where they may. Going in hard. So, there you go. Long boats and battle axes. Chickens, you're coming with me. We're going to get this guy. I've already fired a shot over his bow. He knows I'm out there. He's sweating it big time. And he knew the other thing is, like a lot of them, he knows this day is coming. He just doesn't know when. You got too aggressive, and it finally caught someone's attention. But how? Somebody has not called him out before. And yeah, Pop, I was thinking about you, because I'm at that stage. I just don't know, and perhaps I can talk to you about it, of steel shot in just the old kind of flintlocks, stuff like that. I would love to be able to, just have a double barrel, the old flint, not even percussion, an old flintlock out there, duck hunting. I'm at that point in my life where I just don't need to be shooting all that much, but I don't know how that steel shot would do in some of those things. Okay. Fucking Viking, that motherfucker. Good night. I'm going to go take Xena. Me and Diane are headed outside. It's cooled down, and go out there. So no half measures. See you guys. Thanks, Terry.